Javed Rana is joining us now from Islamabad to give us more information on the latest developments regarding Pakistan's former Premier.
I think this was much anticipated that here the court is going to suspend his conviction. But the bigger trouble here is that there are more than 160 cases against him, most of them on politically motivated charges. There are not any grounds of keeping him in detention. And now we have heard that he has been technically rearrested, which means that he was already in jail, but now he has been implicated in another case, which is commonly known as a cipher case. You may recall that in 2022, there was a controversy about a cipher, which was written by Pakistan's ambassador in Washington to the Foreign Office, where it was revealed that the US had threatened Pakistan to remove Prime Minister Imran Khan, and if he's not removed, Pakistan will have to will have to face the consequences. Now Imran Khan made public that parts of that cipher letter, which was decoded in a common language. The codes of the letters were not made public. And then the allegations against him that he actually has taken that letter along with them when he was dismissed as a result of a no-confidence motion against him back in April last year. So I think in that context, now he has been rearrested and he's going to be prosecuted under a law which has been amended by the parliament but has not been signed by the president. So there is already controversy that under the very law where Imran Khan is going to be prosecuted, it is not a law because there is a still legal question about its validity. So in that context, I think it is not very much understandable how somebody who made a letter about the conspiracy of the Americans public, what is the secret about it? Because he has not made the codes of the ciphers public. This letter, by the way, was formally published by The Intercept, but it's a US newspaper, which clearly endorses, confirms the allegation of the former Prime Minister that his government was removed as a result of a conspiracy which, going by the cipher and going by his allegation, was hatched by the former military chief, General Bajwa, in league with the Americans to oust him. The reason was that Imran Khan was against giving the military bases to the Americans in Pakistan to carry out attacks on neighboring Afghanistan, because he feels that already 70,000-80,000 people have died and Pakistan should not become again a theater of war of any international player. And then there was also very credible allegations. We have heard from journalists who actually met the former army chief, where he wanted Imran Khan to recognize Israel, and he refused it. And then there was also difference of opinion about on whether or not Pakistan should accept the illegal annexation of Kashmir by India. So I think in that context, this is a bigger issue which I'm unfolding. Now, in that context, his government was removed, and in that context, the cipher was Imran Khan made, its contents were made public, and now he has been arrested. They consider it as if it is a treason. So these are politically motivated charges, and going by what is happening on the ground, that he's largely being perceived that he's being victimized by the military, which is allegedly, according to the allegations, operating behind the scene. Military is trying to control some of the judges. This judgment, which was delivered on a very flimsy and defective legal grounds, should have been suspended at least 3 weeks ago. It has been delayed, allegedly under pressure on judges by the intelligence network of Pakistan.
The suspension of Imran Khan's conviction has drawn attention. Now, how might this legal development impact the political landscape in Pakistan, considering the upcoming national election?
Well, I think we are waiting for the judgment. Once the detailed verdict comes out, only then it will be clear whether his disqualification has also been set aside or not. My understanding is that it won't be, which means that he would be released in this particular case, but he would not be allowed to contest the election. So elections are around the corner. Going by Constitution of Pakistan, it should be held within 90 days. But now there are also digital census. The Election Commission says that it wants to redraw the constituencies. And I think that is again politically motivated. And that is again, the Election Commission seems to be playing with the Constitution of Pakistan. Under the Constitution of Pakistan, it is the President of Pakistan who would announce the very date for the holding election within 90 days. Now, the previous government, they made a subordinate legislation with a simple majority and given powers to Election Commission. So the previous government, in league with the military, they came up with a very controversial legislation, which is illegal. They tried to override the Constitution of Pakistan. Under the Constitution of Pakistan, no amendment can be passed in the Constitution until there is a two-thirds majority. So I think this interim government, the Election Commission, and allegedly the military also, they are playing with the Constitution of Pakistan. The president's right has been usurped to announce the date. The Election Commission of Pakistan is not cooperating with him. But on the ground in Pakistan, Imran Khan seems to be retaining his status of being the most popular leader in Pakistan. The fear by the military is that whenever there are elections, his party is going to win. Though there has been a lot of rigging in the pre-poll rigging in Pakistan, his party has been practically dismantled. Thousands of his workers, dozens of his party leaders have been arrested, and some of them were forced to renounce his party association under intense pressure, and some of them were tortured. So in that context, even then, if elections are held, even then, if there is a rigging in the counting process, which has always been there is a greater possibility that Imran Khan could return to power despite all the resistance, despite all the electoral manipulations which is in place, despite the fact that all the political parties and the military is on one side, Election Commission seems to be on one side, and Imran Khan's party seems to be on one side, and he's enjoying the public support. Now, the trouble in Pakistan is that there are secessionist tendency, separatist tendency in Pakistan's northwestern province. There are nationalist groups who are warning to the military that if they don't resolve their problems, which are ending the enforcement disappearances, which are releasing at least 8,000 people who have gone missing, allegedly under the custody of intelligence agencies. They are saying if they are not released, they are going to go for independence. Though those conditions don't exist on the ground. But I think because of lack of democracy in Pakistan, because of repeated interference of military into political affairs, because of Pakistan becoming part of the American war in this part of the world, now there is a greater public resentment in Pakistan's northwest region and all over Pakistan. And when popular leaders are detained on flimsy political charges, obviously, this does not bode well for the integrity of Pakistan and for Pakistan military, which had been playing a very unconstitutional, illegal political role behind the scene, controlling everything, bringing its own prime minister, bringing its own cabinet members, and forcing the political leaders, already outgoing political compromise leaders like the former Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and the opposition leaders, and bringing their own men in the government, which is now the interim government. So they are all compromised, and frankly speaking, the fact of the matter is, with a bitter reality, the Election Commission, the interim government, they are all playing to the tune of the military, and that is a becoming problem because and then the very important point that there is also an organic civil disobedience movement in Pakistan, which is because of surge in electricity charges under pressure from the IMF, under a deal with the IMF. Pakistan had to increase the electricity charges. Now, across Pakistan, people are burning their bills, utility bills, and they are saying they are not going to pay this bill. And when we have seen that the officials of the electricity department, if they approach to the houses to cut off the connections, they were beaten up, they were attacked. So there is unrest in Pakistan, and I think it is a kind of a civil war which is brewing up. And if the military doesn't see it happening, if this interim government doesn't see it happening, if the election commission doesn't see it happening, that would be ironical for Pakistan, because this is the high time that the election commission should hold elections within the 90 days, and the election commission is not doing that. Under my understanding of the constitution, since I have covered constitutional issues for 4 years with the Supreme Court 20 years ago, I can clearly say that the holding elections within 90 days is a must, and those who are defying the constitutional dictates, they are playing with the fate of Pakistan.
Okay, I'll just ask you one other question before I let you go, Javed. The conviction and subsequent events have highlighted the intersection of legal proceedings and politics. What are the challenges and opportunities of ensuring an impartial judicial process in Pakistan's politically charged environment?
Well, I think in Pakistan, the media is largely in favor of military, and allegedly they are being remotely controlled by the intelligence network and some of the political parties. And the sport base, which Imran Khan had tremendous in the past within the media, I think that stands deserted. It's no longer there. So it is a divided society, divided media, and because I don't expect that this judicial process is going to have a fair judgment on Imran Khan, because the judges, they are also divided on some of them on political considerations, some of them under pressure from the military. And we have seen many politically motivated verdicts, both in favor of Imran Khan and both against him, showing the leaning of the judges. And some of the judges, they probably want to deliver a very fair judgment, but they are under pressure from the military. Some of the judges, going by what I've seen in different reports, they are compromised, and they actually deliver judgment more on political considerations, more on the grounds of the pressures that they face, and less on the grounds of the law of the land.
Okay, Javed, thank you so much for joining us on the program. We always appreciate your contribution and insight.
The growing tide of anti-Israel sentiments. What you see behind me is just tip of the iceberg of what is happening in the country. More than half of $52 billion black CIA budget is spent on espionage network in Pakistan. How would you handle it?
The US has looked upon Pakistan as an ally at one point, and then as an enemy at the same time.
That is going to be the first legal reason on the basis of which he is going to be instantly ousted by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Joining us live, Javed Rana, who's an expert on politics and geo-strategic issues.
In the world politics, which is not being driven by any moral principle, it is being driven by the hard geo-strategic realities. In a broader picture, more countries would aspire to have nuclear weapons.